brighten up those dark mornings. Wheeler, Ollie, and Lekter. Mornings at the Cabin.
Morning. 7 o'clock, Monday morning. Minus 16. Outside, winter arriveth.
So this is what it's like. First thing in the morning at the cabin. Huh.
Lekter is in, bright and early.
Whew.
Wheeler is not. We give him the Monday off.
Yeah.
He works hard.
Figured I'd spend the night so that I was here.
Was it toasty and warm?
It was nice. Yeah. Had to restoke the fire a few times, but...
Yeah. You got to be careful with that fire, because this wooden studio table that we put in was, on second thought,
yes,
a risk.
Yes.
But it's still here. A few scorch marks around the edge. We'll polish those out.
Does someone do this every night? Light a fire? In this building?
That's what we pay them for.
It's kind of
It's
insane.
where all our money goes right now.
Oh, okay.
It's on the overnight fire stoking budget.
I guess we got Randy looking after things.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, okay.
Morning, Randy. Randy. Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah.
Oh.
No.
That bird has a sense of timing. Hello, everybody. This is Mornings at the Cabin. I'm Ollie. He's Lekter. We shall discuss today Finnegan's first ptarmigan.
Yes. I don't think Janet Pacey is going to like this.
No,
too much.
if you're a fan of ptarmigans, if you'd like ptarmigans to come out of stories doing well for themselves, maybe skip out for that one. We'll also discuss the Queen. The Queen is staring at me right now, and she stopped waving, but I feel like she'll start again around about 10 o'clock this morning. We'll explain more.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast.
Ollie and Lekter with you, and I'll fill you in on your weather forecast, because you may have noticed if you've, I don't know, stepped out of bed and noticed something is amiss, or even just dangled a digit outside the window this morning.
Dangled a digit.
I'm on form, Lekter. I'm on form. It's going to be a good one. It's minus 16 outside in Yellowknife. That's before the wind chill. The wind chill's got you at minus 27 right now. That's in Yellowknife. It's not that much warmer anywhere else.
Beautiful.
And the weather forecast for today, I'll read this out in full for Yellowknife. Cloudy with a 30% chance of flurries early this morning. Then a mix of sun and cloud. Wind up to 15 km. High of minus 13. Wind chill minus 32 in the morning. Minus 19 in the afternoon. Risk of frostbite. UV index 1 or low. Thanks.
So
I feel like if you see the phrase risk of frostbite, you can usually conclude that your chance of burning is minimal.
You think so?
Well, I don't know, actually.
Well, you never know. That UV index, though,
Yeah.
they're mutually exclusive.
Well, all right. Oh,
it can be bright out and cold.
it could be bright and cold. You're granted. I realize the error of my ways now. I don't recall risk of frostbite being something that the weather forecast used to put in. Fair amount of experience of reading these things every day and turning them into the shortened versions that we put on the air. I've never seen risk of frostbite just pop, especially not for minus 13.
Yeah.
Like when it gets down to like minus 41, usually there's some sort of maybe put an extra layer on the kids warning.
Maybe it's like a transition season kind of thing. So, when it's just like getting cold to the point where if you're outside for extended periods of time, you could experience frostbite. So it's like, risk of frostbite. Just remember, this is a thing that actually happens again. By the time it's like minus 32, it's like, well, if you don't know, then you're already dead.
Yeah, that's very, by the time you get to December, it's pointless putting risk of frostbite because anyone who needed to read that to know is dead.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I can get on board with that. Speaking of frostbite, the segue of the year coming up, Frostbite, the movie, is going to Toronto. And this is a huge thing.
Unbelievable.
For the kids in Deta. Courtesy School has a hand puppet, an amazing hand puppet that they hand built called Frostbite. It's this big, white, fluffy thing. We did a video about it earlier on this year.
Yeah.
And they made a movie for Dead North, which is called Frostbite. And the plot basically is, as we've just been discussing, if you hang outside too long in cold weather, frostbite comes and gets you. Except frostbite has this physical manifestation of being this hand puppet.
Right.
And there are some gloriously acted sequences in this short movie, if you've had the chance to see it, where children are picked off one by frostbite. And frostbite sort of comes into shot and goes, rawr, and nibbles at their arm a bit. And a couple of the kids scream and go, ah, or ooh, and flop down. But one kid in particular delivering their lines in a sort of, I'm only paid by the hour, so I'm going to make the most of this. Just one kid just goes, ah, I've got frostbite. and then boom, onto the ground. Frostbite. It's it's already my all-time favorite short movie. And it's going to Blood in the Snow, which is this Toronto horror movie festival. It's got a Saturday night screening as part of a short movie showcase. And again, I just love the fact that I'm going to go to it now. The Blood in the Snow website has all the movies listed for Saturday night. So it starts Thursday, November 22nd, runs through to the 27th. If you happen to be in Toronto, go see Frostbite at the Blood in the Snow Festival at the Royal Cinema in Toronto, because how cool is that going to be? So on the Saturday night, it has the list of all the short movies. And it's like, here's one called #Selfie, directed by Robin Young. Quiet Room Bears, directed by Lee Howard. Great to Good, directed by Andrea Ashton. All these sort of like, directed by and blah, blah, blah. And then Frostbite, directed by Megan, Tanisha, Phoenix, Faith, Malia, Liza, Dion, Shania, and Stephanie. Yes, Corte, we school data.
Amazing.
We've put our mark on that festival very nicely. It's super cool. And congratulations to those guys. Now, when we come back after the news, the Frostbite story doesn't end there, because Frostbite himself gave me a birthday present, and then it scared Glenn Abernathy.
All right.
That's coming up next.
Cabin Radio's morning show podcast. All the best chat, none of the embarrassing mistakes.
Frostbite, we were discussing. We'd got as far as establishing, A, that now Frostbite is in the weather forecast warnings, which, yeah, fair enough, because we'd all forgotten what winter was.
Yeah.
And B, Frostbite is also a kids' movie made by students in DETA that is going to be screened in Toronto later this month.
Rawr.
Which is amazing for them. Rawr. There are no T-Rexes in it.
When you threw out that your soundbite there for the sound the Frostbite monster makes, it kind of made me think, is our cow T-Rex friend? Were they playing Frostbite?
All-time favorite. If you don't understand what we're talking about, go watch the Halloween highlights from our video show last week. The T-Rex with the world's cutest name. Hold a microphone
Rawr.
out to this T-Rex and it just goes, rawr. Most adorable thing in the world. And then the poor T-Rex lost their T-Rex costume and turned up later in the show across town dressed as a cow.
I think it was a bigger costume. It was an Animorph.
Oh.
Yeah. Just like, I don't know why you would change from a T-Rex to a cow if you were an Animorph, but I'm not really sure what purpose that would serve you necessarily.
Just demonstrating because you can, right? I mean, wouldn't you?
I was thirsty.
You're an Animorph. You just change into random stuff. Look, I'm a badger.
Look at me. Give me candy. I'm a badger now.
Now I'm a marine iguana.
Maybe that was all it was, just to throw people off who were giving out candy.
Yeah.
I was a T-Rex. I'm clearly a cow. How could I be the same
That is
kid?
actually...
It's
That
brilliant.
is ingenious.
Yeah.
Hit all the same houses twice. That house with the full-size candy, just here. Look, hold my T-Rex out.
Yeah.
Going back in. Anyway, I went down to Corte School in DETA late last week to film with Frostbite, their wonderful little hand puppet that is in this movie that is going to this Toronto Film Festival. The video from this is on our website now if you go to cabinradio.ca. And a little bonus video happened, which you can check out on their Instagram. If you go to Instagram and look for Frostbite Film, you'll see a bonus video, which is Frostbite the puppet giving me a birthday present, which I knew nothing about until I got there, and we did our main little bit of filming, and then Frostbite shoved this little parcel over in my direction and made his little Frostbite noises for me to open it. And I opened it up, and I had no idea what I was going to get. And what I received is now perched on top of a speaker between you and I. Now, you've got a slightly less glamorous view of this than I have. Describe what you're looking at.
Well, I am currently staring at the Queen's backside.
Yeah.
That's about how I can describe it.
About an 8-inch tall figurine of Her Madge. And she's in her usual... You know what she's like with hats. You know, she always gets it right.
Yeah.
She's in this beautiful blue hat with some white floral decorations on it. And she looks pretty pleased with herself. Handbag clutched delicately. And one hand is sort of half raised. And you know how the Queen does that little waving motion with her hand. It's not even really a wave as much as a sort of a seismic gauge. And anytime there's an earthquake, it just sort of tremors slightly.
I just realized you could have the greatest Queen-themed sprinkler with that hand wave.
Yeah, just back, yeah. Nobody waves like that. Nobody waves like that. But the Queen does.
The Queen does.
And
it's a trademark.
This is a solar queen.
Oh, right. I forgot about that little quirk. Yeah.
It operates based on solar energy.
So she's going to be inanimate for quite some time.
She's like, she could take the winter off. But when the sun returns to Yellowknife, when the sun strikes her match, the hand starts going. And so, yeah, she's still right now. She's just waiting, biding her time. Now, this has already unsettled a government minister. Because, as we've already discussed, the Queen is perched between you and I. So I'm sat at the main desk of Studio One, looking across at you at microphone number 4, and in between the two of us is the Queen. Which is exactly how this was set up on Friday when Glenn Abernathy came in for his interview. And he sat down over there, and I didn't even think anything of it. Didn't even think twice. Cracked open the microphones, hit record. We're doing our interview, which you're going to listen to that this lunchtime, by the way. This is all just a secret trail for the show. Cabin Radio's Lunchtime News. We got an exclusive with Glenn Abernathy. Listen to that after 12.
Just cut to the chase.
Yeah. We're chatting away, and after about 10 seconds, he just reaches forward, casually moves the Queen out of eye line. Hadn't even occurred to me that it might unsettle someone to be staring at the Queen's bum while having to discuss some quite serious topics.
I wonder if it occurred to Glenn that moving the Queen in the presence of Ollie Williams might be an offensive gesture.
I'm not sure you're really allowed, even as a government minister, to manhandle Her Majesty in quite the...
in whatever size or form.
No, I honestly, I'm not, certainly without gloves. And the least you could do. You know?
Glenn's got his fingerprints all over her leg. And
she's practically 100. She can't be exposed to that kind of thing.
She's too old.
Yeesh, Glenn.
But it's fair enough. I mean, it would be a bit distracting. He probably thought that you were playing some kind of prank on him.
He probably did.
Yeah.
I think people would probably find it just too stereotypical that Ollie just casually keeps an 8-inch figurine of the Queen staring at him in Studio One at all times. And yet, here we are.
I like to imagine you coming in every morning now and just turning the Queen towards you and just giving her a pleasant little smile. And it's like, all right, I can go on with my day now.
Yeah, and the sun rises and she gives me a delicate little wave.
Yeah.
And the rest of my day is as happy as can be.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast was recorded before a sort of live, thankfully not in the studio, audience.
Morning, everybody. Welcome to Moniz the Cabin. Ollie and Lekter, and very pleased to say we have from Flavour Trader Etienne Croteau in the building. Morning, Etienne.
Hello, good morning. How are you?
Very well. How are you?
It's good. Still good.
Big day.
Big day today, yeah.
Big day for you today. The Prince of Wales Northern Heritage Centre, which a lot of people will just know as the museum here in Yellowknife, has you as the new restaurant.
Yeah.
New museum cafe. Are you calling it Flavour Trader? What do we call that now?
By Flavour Trader at the museum.
Flavour Trader at the museum. Starts today at 10:30 this morning?
Yeah, for your coffee break and the lunchtime at 11:30 until 2.
What has it been like making the transition? You've already had Flavour Trader in Yellowknife. People know about that already. But now stepping up to this and opening up this brand new place in a building where people already had a restaurant that they used to before, and you got this amazing space that they have. What has that whole journey been like?
The whole journey, I think it's really a fantasy for a chef. I think so, because now everything is possible. We have a full menu now. We can explore so many things, and I think it's where we get our the fun part, definitely. Then, yeah.
As a journalist, whenever anything new opens in town like this, I always I go and I speak to people and say, what was it like? And I write the story where everyone says, oh, it was really tough, but now it's happening and I'm thrilled. And all anyone ever puts underneath it in the comments is, yeah, but what's the menu? I don't care about the feelings of the person cooking the food. I don't care about all this stuff. I want to know what the food is. So let me get that out of the way right now.
Enough of your pithy story. Let's see the menu.
What's on the menu?
On the menu, we have 6 different dishes for the main course. But if you want and you have 1 hour and a half in front of you, you can have a 4-course meal for the lunchtime.
4-course?
Wow.
Oh, yeah. We have soup, salad, main course, and dessert. Just the dessert. Let's begin by the sweet. We have a blueberry cardamom panna cotta with a tuile of almond. We have the pudding strawberry of my mother. It's a maple cake that we do our own made sour ice cream with nuts, maple nuts candy, and we have also, for the main course, I think people are really interested about that. We have a signature dish by Calvin Rousseau. It's a vegetarian one. It's squash roasted with apple jam with cinnamon from Sri Lanka. And we have pecan candy we have on the top of it, roasted and caramelized apple. And it's delicious. Honestly, I tried it and I said, man, I would like to be vegetarian. Thank you, Calvin.
Sounds amazing.
And but we have also a kind of a Flavour Trader pie with lamb and beef and escallop potato on the top. It's creamy. It's delicious. It's with the caramelized red onions with maple again. We use a lot of Canadian produce. And we try to use northern ingredient, but sometimes it's hard to get. But we're getting there. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why I asked these questions before I've had breakfast. What a mistake.
And it's hard to explain with my English because, oh my God.
No, it just makes it tastier.
Okay.
It just makes it 5 times as tasty.
Speak French and I tried to, whoa, okay.
If you listen to me describe any of that, I mean, what did we have? What was that blueberry thing? There was a blueberry...
Panna cotta, it's Italian, this one.
Oh, yeah, but in the French accent, it has even blue... All right, Governor, here's a blueberry panna cotta. It doesn't have the same sort of... Yeah. Your ears don't resound with delight when you hear it from me.
It sounds burnt when you say it.
Yeah, right? It sounds badly prepared when I say it. When Etienne says it, it sounds like it's really tasty.
Okay. Sounds like a delight.
Okay.
What has been the biggest challenge of getting this all figured out?
I think it's to find the opening date. Oh my goodness. Well, it was something because so many things happen and so many people are really interested by the space. Honestly, we are lucky just for that because people are used to go there, but they didn't have restaurant for, I think, at least 4 months. And now we wanted to open as soon as possible, but so many things have to be done. The order, all the tests of the recipe. It's, we don't pick all that we want. We said, okay, this one, maybe it's not for the winter menu. Let's put that on the spring menu, and because we follow the season too. Also, the challenge, I think, if any one of you try to find a job as a server, please go on our Facebook page because it's really something. We just have like we advise for at least 1 month and a half. And I think Yellowknife, it's known for many other jobs that is more...
Pays a little more.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But we pay well. Huh? Then...
Yeah. All right.
Anyway.
If you know anybody out there who's in need of a job right now, Etienne will maybe welcome you with open arms, eh?
Thank you.
Okay. We can put that out there as well. Yeah, you mentioned finding an opening date. As far as I know, you've only ever said November 5th out loud to people, right?
Yeah, but
which makes you part of an extraordinarily exclusive club of Yellowknife businesses that have said an opening date and then opened on it.
Okay.
Now, we failed miserably. We said fall 2017 and blew straight through that. Yeah. I could think of at least 15 other businesses off the top of my head that said, like, yeah, we're going to open like 3 weeks from now. And then it's like the next spring. Yeah. And you're still waiting patiently. You've actually done it. You said November the 5th and opened on November the 4th. Well, hang on. I mean, we got like 2.5 hours. Anything could happen.
Yeah.
But the day has come. How excited are you to get in there this morning, open those doors and see what happens?
Honestly, right now, super excited. Like, talk to me about 2 weeks ago, oupalai, that is an expression in French, was quite something. What make me feel really confident right now, it's the team that we have in the kitchen. Really, Calvin Rousseau, Jared, and Travis, they are super hard worker. They are trained too. That make a huge difference. And I'm lucky, touch wood, because in Yellowknife to find trained cook, it's quite something. Then they run the kitchen perfectly. I just do some adjustment, honestly, because I taste everything but honestly they are good. I can tell that and then give all my confidence on that. Yeah.
Flavour Trader itself, the old Flavour Trader, as I'm going to call it, is still there. It's important to make that point as well.
Yes, because we offer our catering service and it's through this kitchen downtown, and we also offer this really fast, I don't want to say fast food. What is the word for that? It's a counter that we serve you a meal in 2 minutes. And I think people need that. All our customers come and take it to go. Right. Because they eat in front of their computer. And they have a really nice meal. They can travel the world. Every day we change the menu. It will be a bit like that at the museum because we have one daily meal, one soup meal, and one salad. Not a daily soup and a daily salad. And that will give us the opportunity to change a bit. We can pick another country and do those kind of thing, but the experience is completely different. That you sit and you really enjoy a more fine dining. I don't want to say gastronomic; it's more bistronomic because it's accessible for everyone. Our prices are not crazy. You should come and have a look.
So if you can't relax, old location. If you can relax, new location.
There we go.
Got them all covered.
Something for everybody. Now, before I let you go, when you came in here, we had a little chat, and I happened to mention that you were growing your business empire. Now there are 2 Flavour Traders.
Oh my God.
Maybe there'll be, a Washington Flavour Trader, a Los Angeles Flavour Trader, a London Flavour Trader. And you exactly pulled the face that you're pulling now, which is, please God, no.
No, it's a lot of work. No, I think I'm not ambitious like that. I like project, but now I think my cup it's quite full, and I'm happy like that. And many people, like I can name Natasha Bogal and Valérie Gamache, they helped me a lot to set up everything. So many people I would like to say thank you, but it's just a teamwork, I have to say. Yeah.
Etienne, we wish you all the luck in the world.
Thank you very much.
Museum cafes, well, the old Museum Cafe is now Flavour Trader at the museum. Opens 10:30 this morning, lunch from 11:30. Go check out that amazing sounding menu and let us know what it was like. Etienne, good luck to everybody there today. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast, where we delete all the bad bits and make them sound at least semi-coherent.
Violent Femmes, blessed her in the sun. This is Mornings at the Cabin. Speaking of Violent Femmes, Sarah Price, Cabin Radio's Fort Smith reporter, is in the studio, visiting Yellowknife for a couple of days. Morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for coming in and regaling me with a story that was close to my heart as it involved my house nearly burning down. You are staying at my place for the weekend, and I obviously got up nice and early and came in here to slave away at the cold face that is radio. And you stayed behind, made yourself some breakfast, and nearly burnt the place down. What happened?
I made toast, and the smoke detector went off. So it's really not as dramatic as Ollie makes it sound.
But there was an issue when the smoke detector went off.
Yes, very much so, because you don't own any chairs. So I had no way to stand and reach the smoke detector to turn it off. So I was frantically looking around your house, trying to find something that I could stand on so I could turn the smoke detector off. I tried jumping a few times, couldn't get it, and eventually dragged the kitchen table over, which is also
you dragged the kitchen table. So the
It's a
smoke
small,
detector is down
it's
the
a small
hallway.
kitchen table with no chairs.
Okay.
Yeah, but the kitchen table is full of things like Kleenex boxes and.
Hang on. This doesn't paint
Okay,
the
there's one.
most flattering image of how I choose to live my
You
life.
wanted to tell the
There
story.
is one Kleenex box.
Yes,
on
which
the
fell on the
kitchen
floor.
table.
And
Among other
empty
things.
or still full of Kleenex?
Half full.
In use. All right.
Yeah,
All right. Why don't you have any chairs?
Oh, I'm beginning to regret this whole story. So, I have no chairs because I got the kitchen table donated to me a while back because someone else didn't need it.
Right.
And I was like, I should get chairs for that. And then life and radio stations took over, and I get in the evenings. Most of the time, I'm just cooking for me, so I'll just go sit on the sofa and. Who am I kidding? I use the phrase "just cooking for me." Most of the time, I get in the evenings. I'm just ordering from Domino's.
Right.
So I'll go and sit on the couch, and I don't really need the kitchen table. The kitchen table functions as a sort of collecting point for things that will require attention at some point in the future, but were not immediately urgent that day. Now my to-do pile, Lord only knows what that looks like now. It's all over the place. There'll be burnt toast crumbs all over it.
I guess that makes sense because, if you're going to be ordering Domino's and eating it alone in your house, there's nothing sadder than doing that at the kitchen table.
Don't do that at the
you
kitchen table.
may as well saddle up at the sofa, have the TV on.
At least like put Netflix on, and settle in for the evening. Yeah, don't sit down.
Sit quietly.
Don't set the table. Don't
napkin.
No, it's a bad look. So hence no kitchen chairs at the kitchen table.
All right.
Because it hadn't previously occurred to me that anyone too short to reach the smoke detector would be in the house alone and unsupervised.
Or that anyone would actually be cooking there.
Well, cooking sounds like a stretch, but yeah. So the toast has been cleared up.
Yes.
Or after Etienne came in from Flavour Trader this morning, le pain noir, as we're calling it. Yeah, and you eventually managed to get a half decent breakfast, don't you?
It ended up being about 1 piece of toast instead of 2, but yes.
We ran out of bread as a result of this.
No, because I had to throw out all the burnt pieces around the edge of the toast. So
But you could.
in the end, I could have made more toast, yes, but I didn't.
Okay. So you were so ashamed at the first pass at this that you basically abandoned the endeavor of cooking toast.
I just tore off all the burnt bits.
All right.
and it was okay in the middle.
It was okay in the middle.
All right, just
yes,
the border
there's lots
was
of burnt crust in the compost bin.
Okay. Well, there you go. We've seen both sides of the Yellowknife gastronomic spectrum this morning here on Moniz the Cabin. We've indulged ourselves in what Flavour Trader has to offer at the museum a little later on today, and we've indulged ourselves in what, I'll be honest with you, is actually some of the more superior cooking that's taken place in that apartment of mine in the last 12 months.
At least ambitious.
Well, yeah, I think we can certainly go ahead with that.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast, where we cut out all the great music and you're left with the rest.
If you spend any time in Yellowknife in particular, maybe in the NWT, you may have seen those bumper stickers on the back of cars. In this town, we break for Ptarmigan. Lekter, you've been doing some breaking for Ptarmigan of your own recently.
Yeah, for about 20 minutes, half an hour. While my boy, Finnegan, bagged his first ptarmigan.
Whoa. Finnegan?
Yeah.
I know Finnegan.
Yeah.
Finnegan, how old is that dog?
He's just over 2 now.
All right.
Yeah.
Lord bless him, he means well.
He does.
He's not blessed with the sharpness of mind and mental agility that I would associate with a hunting dog.
No.
I'm intrigued to know what was wrong with the ptarmigan.
Well, that I don't know. See, the jury is still out as to whether this was a fully functioning ptarmigan, if he was 100% at the time of Finnegan attacking it. Because I took them out Saturday morning for a walk. Was going to go to the folk site. It's usually one of my 2 go-tos. But they hadn't plowed out, off the road yet. And I was like, I could take a chance, drive off the road, but I don't want to get stuck and then have to call someone. So went to the golf club. There were tracks going in there. There was a tractor plowing out the golf club. And I was like, why not? Let's take them around the golf club. So yeah, let them out. We, let them run around for about half an hour, 40 minutes. Had a great little walk. There's nothing better than dogs in fresh snow. They're just like the happiest, especially huskies in fresh snow. They're just the happiest you've ever seen a dog. So they frolic in the snow for, about half an hour, 40 minutes. I decide, all right, walk towards the car. Jaya shows up. She's like, all right, yeah, let's go. She just has no hesitation about jumping in our car, let alone anyone's car. She'll just jump in if she sees an open door. She jumps in. I'm like, okay, well, I don't know where Finnegan is, but let's wait it out a bit. He doesn't show up. And so I'm like, okay, I'm just going to start driving down the golf club road a bit. And all of a sudden he pops up out of nowhere. I see him in my rearview mirror. I stop. I'm like, all right, come on, Finnegan, let's go. And he's like, no, I was just a drive-by. I was just faking you out. Runs right by me. I'm like, oh, God. So he is, you set up that he is not the sharpest dog, but he's getting smarter.
Well, the fact that he already
surely
knows how to play you with the old, oh, look, my owner's driving off game. He just earned a lot more respect in my mind. Go on, yeah.
Yeah, so he's now smart enough to know when we actually have treats in our pocket and when we're just pulling his leg. We can't trick him anymore, because I had a little mint in my pocket. I think it was a year-old WSCC mint. Pulled it out and I was like, look, Finnegan, cookie. Come get the cookie. And he's staring at me. He's like, I'm not so convinced. He's about, 50 yards away from me. He's kind of looking at me. He's like, I don't know. I really don't think that's a cookie. All of a sudden, he looks to his left in the ditch. And I'm just like, oh, God. He sees something. And sure enough, he just takes off in that direction. I'm like, oh, jeez. Here we go. So I jump back in the car, drive up, and I see him going at something on the ground. And, I thought it was just like an old bone or something. It's like, oh, God, well, this just got more interesting.
If you have small children, turn off now. This is about to get bad news for them. If you like ptarmigan.
If you're especially sensitive towards ptarmigan, maybe the rest of the story isn't for you. Because I pulled up, and he looked, and he had a ptarmigan dangling from his mouth. Still very much alive. But yeah, I have no idea if it was what kind of state it was in when he got it. I didn't actually see him make the catch, but I saw everything else that followed, which was basically me realizing I'm not going to get this ptarmigan away from my dog. I can't move quickly. The snow is too deep, and he is not going to let me take this ptarmigan away from him. So I was like, well, I guess I can just try and keep him off the highway and let him do his thing and wear himself out. And I got to say, it was disturbingly cute in a way, watching him tear this ptarmigan to shreds. He was so happy. His tail was just wagging the whole time. He was kind of playing with it while eating it and fending off ravens at the same time who were trying to steal his ptarmigan. Just, really growing as a dog in this moment. So I was pulled over on the side of the road. I'm just like scrolling my Facebook, kind of looking in the rearview mirror, keeping an eye on him. This car pulls up. And the guy stops and motions to me, like gives me a thumbs up, like, are you okay? All good? I'm like, yeah, no, I'm all good. Point to my dog. My dog has a ptarmigan. I'm not going to get it away from him. He starts laughing. He's like, oh, okay. Yeah, he'll wear himself out eventually. Yeah, I just thought I'd check and see if you're okay, which I thought was really nice. I was like, okay, I'm a little bit annoyed, but that guy just brightened up my day and, a little faith in humanity restored there. So Finnegan finally finishes with this ptarmigan. Comes up to the car. I'm like, all right, awesome. Walk is over. We can all go home. Get out of the car. Go to grab him. He evades me. Runs across the road, up onto the highway. I'm freaking out. He decides, all right, no, this is making Dad really mad, so I'm going to come off the highway and run across back into the folk site because he likes that. And I'm just like at my wit's end at this point. I forgot to mention, when he went on the highway, there was a second truck that pulled over, a gentleman who decided to be a lot less helpful and a lot more Captain Obvious about things, and basically said, hey, your dog's pretty close to the highway there. Should keep an eye on him. Like, thanks. Yep. Thanks for the tip, pal.
I'm so glad that you're around with these stories, because every time I go to the SPCA, we went down a couple of days ago, Doobie, who you'll be able to see on the Pet Project from the last week, Friday's Pet Project. When I went and paid a second visit to Doobie, because I missed Doobie.
Right. Oh, did you?
And I need to hear stories like this to remind me why I don't want Doobie.
No, Doobie's a sweetheart. Doobie would never do anything like this.
Okay. Don't tell me that. Carry on.
Anyway, he eventually... he wasn't going to come back. He was just like, we're on a run for the day. That's what's happening. So a last-ditch effort, I thought, well, maybe if I bring Jaya out, she'll just coax him into coming back. So I had her on leash. Bring her out the back of the car. I'm like, look, Finnegan, it's Jaya. How long has it been since you saw her? And it worked. He just came dancing up. Oh, Jaya, hey. Grabbed him, tossed him in the car, and off we went. So now I've got a dog with a taste for ptarmigan, and of course another dog who famously climbs trees, going after squirrels. So we've got an interesting pair at home.
Yeah, they can put a pincer movement on just about any squirrel now. Yeah. That's great. I also love the mental checkers game that is going on between you and Finnegan.
He's starting to win. It's really troubling me.
That is a concern.
Yes.
Already.
Yeah. Not chess. Neither of us are smart enough for chess. So yeah, I'm glad you kept it at checkers. That's much more accurate.
Checkers, everybody's on board. Alrighty. Finnegan, congratulations on your first ptarmigan. I think we just about got out of that break without victim blaming the ptarmigan, which is an excellent start to the week.
Thanks for listening. Check out more from the show at cabinradio.ca.